The year is 1905. A paleontologist in the Badlands of South Dakota unearths a massive skull from the ancient rock. It's enormous, with horns longer than your arm and a bony frill the size of a dining table. Scientists declare it the most terrifying plant eater that ever lived. They name it Triceratops. Almost immediately, artists start sketching it charging headfirst at a T-Rex like a prehistoric rhinoceros on steroids. For over a century, that image stuck hard. Kids' books, movies, museum exhibits. Everyone bought it. Triceratops was the armored tank of the Cretaceous. Except, almost everything we thought we knew about it was wrong. The deeper you dig into the so-called apex predators and monsters, the more you realize a shocking number have been overhyped. Some were slower than we imagined. Some had weapons that were more show than substance. Some were pickier eaters than your average house cat. And some were basically just very large, very specialized animals. They got lucky for a few million years before reality hit them hard. Let's start with the one that fooled us the longest. Triceratops. For decades, it was portrayed as a fearless warrior that would lower its 3 horns and charge like a living battering ram. The problem? Its neck wasn't built for high-speed collisions. Biomechanical tests showed the vertebrae and muscles were optimized for pushing. A full-force charge would have risked shattering its own skull. Instead, those horns likely worked more like a deer's antlers, for display, pushing contests with rivals, and careful defensive stabs. Triceratops wasn't a rampaging tank, it was a massive, well-armored bulldozer that preferred to shove rather than sprint. But at least Triceratops had iconic horns. Many famous predators had far less impressive weapons than the movies claimed. Take Spinosaurus. The giant sail-backed beast, Jurassic Park 3 turned it into a swimming nightmare. For years, it was hyped as the largest carnivorous dinosaur ever, a 50-foot monster that dominated land and water. Then, new fossils from 2014 onward flipped the script. Short hind legs, a paddle-shaped tail, and dense bones. It wasn't a fast land runner. It was built like a slow-moving crocodile. The sail was probably for display and thermoregulation. Even today, the debate rages on. Some 2025 studies suggest Spinosaurus was far more aquatic than we once thought, capable of swimming powerfully against river currents and spending long stretches submerged, hunting like a river tyrant, similar to modern seals or penguins. Other research still pushes back, arguing it mostly waded in shallows like a giant heron, whichever side wins. One thing is clear. The apex terror of the Cretaceous rivers was never the boat-flipping General Hollywood sold us. It was a highly specialized giant tuned perfectly to its watery niche and surprisingly limited outside of it. If partial skeletons can create such myths, imagine what happens with more complete ones. Let's talk about the king Tyrannosaurus Rex. For generations, T-Rex was the unstoppable force with tiny arms and highway speed. But newest studies show those useless arms were musculous. Each biceps could generate serious force, possibly for gripping struggling prey or helping the massive animal push itself up after lying down. And get this, recent 2025 and 2026. Research has doubled down on just how insanely powerful its bite really was. Estimates now put the adult T-Rex bite force at up to 35,000 to 57,000 newtons at the back teeth. That's over 12,000 pounds per square inch. Enough to crush bone like it was chalk. One study even compared it directly to modern crocodiles, showing T-Rex skulls were optimized for quick, crushing bites, rather than slashing. Meanwhile, many other giant sauropods had much weaker bites and relied on ripping flesh instead. This explains the tiny arms. When your jaws are that devastating, you don't need long grasping limbs as much. Natural selection traded arm length for skull power. T-Rex didn't need to chase you at top speed. It was an ambush powerhouse built for bone-crushing efficiency. It didn't need to outrun you if it could overpower and devour you in one devastating chomp. Then there's Velociraptor, the clever pack hunter from Jurassic Park. In reality, it was turkey-sized, about 3 feet tall at the hip. It had that famous killing claw, but it was better for pinning small prey than slashing large victims. And yes, it had feathers, making it look more like a deadly feathered turkey than a sleek reptile. The real Velociraptor was fast and feisty, but nowhere near the movie monsters. Now, to the oceans, and one of the biggest size myths. Documentaries claimed this 60-foot behemoth ate whales whole. The teeth and bite force are real. But recent models suggest the largest were closer to 50 to 55 feet, with some generous estimates pushing toward 80 feet at absolute maximum based on new vertebral scaling. But here's the real twist from a major 2025 study. Megalodon wasn't the specialized whale. Analysis of zinc isotopes in its fossil teeth shows it was an opportunistic generalist attaining whatever was available, from large marine mammals and top predators down to smaller fish and sharks. It needed around 100,000 calories a day, so it flexibly hunted across the food web depending on location and what swam by. When oceans cooled and prey patterns shifted, this versatility wasn't enough to save it. Even the scariest shark in history turned out to be far more adaptable, and far less picky than the hyper-focused monster documentaries portrayed. My favorite overhyped monster comes from the Permian. 260 million years ago, they had massive skulls and saber teeth, over a foot long. Early scientists called them the saber-toothed cats of the Permian, but jaw mechanics revealed their bite force was only as strong as a medium-sized dog. Those giant teeth left little room for powerful muscles. They had to hunt precisely, pin prey, avoid bone, and stab soft tissue. Fossils show many had broken and healed saber teeth. These apex predators were walking with fragile glass knives in their mouths. And then there's the most embarrassing one. For over a century, it was shown as the dominant Permian carnivore, but studies reveal a weak bite for its size, better for soft prey and fish. It likely ambushed in shallow water, rather than ruling the land. That famous sail was for thermoregulation and display. The terror of the Permian was mostly a big fish eater. That looked scary, but wasn't as dominant as we thought. Here's another one that completely flips the script. Dinosaurs, the dinosaur with claws longer than a grown man's arm. For decades, artists depicted it as a terrifying slashing predator, like a demonic grizzly bear, with scythes 4 hands. Those claws looked like they could disembowel anything. But when better skeletons were found, paleontologists realized the truth was almost the opposite. The Dinosaurs was a massive herbivore. Those enormous claws were probably used to pull down branches, strip leaves, or defend itself passively. Not for active hunting. It had a potbelly for digesting plants, a small head, and a beak suited for cropping vegetation. The psi-handed monster was actually a giant, peaceful browsing specialist that looked intimidating but lived a relatively chill life. Munching on foliage. Talk about a total glowdown, from nightmare fuel to gentle giant. So why do we keep getting these animals wrong? Because fossils are incomplete. Dramatic reconstructions sell better. And we love monsters. We want unstoppable killing machines. The truth is messier and more humbling. These creatures were highly specialized, often fragile and dependent on narrow niches that vanished when the world changed. Evolution doesn't care about looking cool. In documentaries, it cares about survival in the moment. The next time you see an ancient beast portrayed as an invincible super predator, remember, paleontology is full of humbling twists. Almost every monster has turned out slower, weaker, pickier, or more vulnerable than we believed. And that's what makes the real story so much better. The prehistoric world wasn't an arena of flawless gladiators. It was a complicated ecosystem full of specialists trying their best until conditions shifted. Their overhyped status says more about our love for drama than the actual animals. If you enjoyed this myth-busting dive into overhyped prehistoric monsters,